Hello, my name is Veles and welcome to Infernal Thunder. In this video we are going to talk about the history and meaning of number 13 in ancient cultures and throughout history as well as the modern day. And if anyone does consider this day lucky as I do, connected to feminine divine, happy Friday the 13th. Let's start. Friday the 13th in ancient history and number 13. Have you ever wondered why are people so afraid of this date? Why do hotels skip the 13th floor? And what does the number really mean in ancient traditions? Let's see. Friday the 13th as well as number 13 in ancient history. In pagan cultures, the number 13 wasn't always considered unlucky at all. In fact, it was sacred. A year had 13 lunar cycles, and lunar calendars were central to many ancient civilizations, like Egyptians, the Celts, Native Americans, and even the old Slavic people. In many traditions, 13 was the number of the goddess, symbolizing fertility, natural cycles, change, and intuition. Women have around 13 menstrual cycles a year, another connection to the moon and feminine energy. How did we even come here to fear number 13 and consider it bad luck? Well, it all starts with a myth. Stories and myths connected to number 13. In Christian tradition, at the Last Supper, there were 13 people at the table, and Judas, who betrayed Jesus, was the 13th guest. This reintroduced that 13 is bad luck, and it introduced that concept that having 13 guests is bad luck. Friday the 13th and the Knights Templar. Here comes one of the most dramatic moments in medieval history. One Friday, October 13, 307, King Philip IV of France ordered the mass arrest of the Knights Templar, a powerful and wealthy military order, as we all know. They are accused of heresy, tortured, and many were executed. This event implied that the number 13 is the number of the betrayal and the downfall. Some Christian stories even add that Eve bit the apple in the Garden of Eden, and that Cain killed Abel on Friday, layering the date with even more negativity and fear. There is something that I love to talk about, and that's Norse mythology, where we find one of the oldest and most direct connections to the number 13, Valhalla. 12 guests were peacefully gathered, celebrating the immortality of Balder, until Loki, the trickster god, showed up as the 13th and unlived Balder at the feast. His presence led to the death of Balder, the beloved god of light, making 13 as a number that brings chaos and loss. Why'd you do it, Loki? Why do you have to fuck up things? This is likely one of the roots of the belief that 13 guests brings death. In Greek mythos, the number 13 is rarely mentioned directly, but Hades, the god of the underworld, was often tied to finality and energy later associated with this number. In Hinduism, the 13th day of the lunar cycle is significant for rituals honoring ancestors and spiritual cleansing. Again, linking number 13 with transition between worlds. 13 in the occult and spiritual symbolism. In tarot card number 13 is death, but not literal death. In most cases, depends on the reading, but not literal death, symbolizing death, the end of the phase and beginning of another. In alchemy and occult, 13 is seen as a number of transformation and mystery, a bridge between the physical and the spiritual. In astrology, there is a forgotten 13th zodiac sign, Ophius, the serpent bearer. If I butcher the pronunciation, the name will be on screen. A symbol of healing and chaos, often linked to ancient wisdom. There are some other deities associated with the number. Hecate, the Greek goddess of crossroads, magic, and the underworld, often worshipped in triple form, with 13 seen at her sacred number of cycles and power. Freya, Norse goddess, goddess of love, death, and magic. Some of her rituals were said to involve 13 priestesses, and I read somewhere that her official celebration day is Friday the 13th, as well as it is connected to Loki. The name of the goddess will be here because I do not want to butcher this. Goddess of purification, sin and rebirth, connected to the ritual cycles in the Aztec calendar. Also, my dear La Santísima Muerte is also connected to the number 13 as the goddess of death. I hope you enjoyed my video. This is all I had to say. Till the next time.